I'm a 25-year-old man and I went to go see this on my own at 9:45 a.m. Here's my review of Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. George and Harold are best friends and incessant troublemakers at their elementary school, run by the fascist Principal Krupp. He constantly confiscates the Captain Underpants comic books they create together, and after one prank goes too far, he decides to put them in separate classes. The boys hypnotise their principal into thinking that he's the hero, Captain Underpants, and soon realise they've bitten off more than they can chew, especially when Captain Underpants hires possible supervillain in the making, Professor P. I grew up reading these books and loved them as a kid. They were sort of aimed at children but never spoke down to them, even though they were rammed with potty humour of the worst kind. They always seem more creative than the other books aimed at less capable readers. They were jammed with these in-jokes and little nods towards the adults who might be reading along as well. They also had a stylistic experimentation to them that kept them fresh and interesting. They always broke the fourth wall or had sections when they said they couldn't afford the budget for a fight, so they just drew a big cloud. And who could forget Flipperama, where you could animate your own fights over the course of the book. And so watching this film, I was pleasantly surprised to find that it had remained true to the spirit of the books in that sense. The animation in this is heavily stylized. In particular, the character design is very reminiscent of the 2D figures that they're drawing from for the 3D animation here. They often add 2D elements as well. Things like worry or movement lines or liquids being poured will often be 2D elements that have been composited on top of the 3D CGI. There is actually a Flipperama section in the film as well, where the boys have drawn a fight in a comic book and then we just see their hands kind of doing the Flipperama action. There's even a moment where they're discussing the future, where the whole thing becomes a live-action sock puppet film, and it's that sort of experimentation that makes this a really fun movie to watch. Behind that animation, they tell a story which is one you've probably heard about 100 times before, but which has a sort of vitality and energy in the way that it's told, partially thanks to the animation style, partially just due to the writing, that keeps the audience interested even when it's being quite generic. Couple that with some excellent voice acting and you've basically got a really serviceable kids film. I'm not going to say that this is an upcoming classic of the kids genre. I don't think it has that family crossover appeal that you expect from movies like Pixar's, for instance. I also don't think it goes far enough with its experimentation in terms of the story and the characters to really be up to par with one of the more adult family films like the Lego Movie. But it tells a story that is unreservedly juvenile and often quite puerile, and does it in a really intelligent and not speaking down to kids sort of way. And you've got to love that ethos because it comes from the books that this is taken from. Dav Pilkey, who wrote the books, has been very open about growing up with ADHD and dyslexia in a school environment that didn't really recognise those problems and would frequently reprimand him for that behaviour. In fact, he came up with the character while he was in detentions for that behaviour. I don't have dyslexia, but all of my siblings do, and for me it's important to see creators who are dealing with those problems making positive work that really moves forward. So it's good that the film takes on the best attributes of the books and is an intelligent, vivacious and often outrageous film that will definitely grab the attention of the kids who watch it, if not maybe crossing over wider than that. I'm sure I'm not the only one who grew up with these books, so if you have any fond memories of Captain Underpants and if you saw the film, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to click subscribe to get the next review when it comes out. That's it from me. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.